Shalom, Joshua Olive, people of Israel, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Once again, out here props out about the downfall of Babylon the Great. Hey, we'll start our first things first, giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rahak, Dash. May the evil touch, speaking as the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. And shalom, sister, brothers, living is truth. And shalom to the brothers and sisters listening and standing for yourselves approved. Shalom. Hey, come out here to talk to you. Hey, what's going on? Hey, this place Babylon the Great, aka America. This place is prime for missiles to hit this place, man. Wickedness is at its peak. Wickedness is like exceeding this place. If we talk before we started camp, we got the alphabet gang, really starting to spread all that little, craziness and madness on the people. I think we getting ready to go into what's that Pride Month. Oh, yeah, I think we about to get going to that. Hey, that's nothing like play about to get missing. Like, this place, Babylon does its wickedness in pride. It thumbs its nose at Yahweh, and they got the rainbow. They done took a symbol. They're supposed to be the peace. Y'all good. They done took a symbol that's supposed to be made for peace. And then made it represent sodomy, which is a direct, dominate nose at Yahweh, and hey, this place is probably ready to be destroyed, man. We already in the coming events of World War III, so the stage has been set for this place to be destroyed, man. It's gonna be destroyed, through thermonuclear fallout. So I've got to speak the precept. We're gonna keep it on.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and we'll start at verse 1. It says, "Thus says the Lord, Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send into Babylon banners, they shall not bend her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." Okay, when he said that they shall be against her round about, it goes into Russia, China, all of those in America's allies. All right, verse 3.
Hold on, I got one to say. God, this is Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for there shall no more be called tender and delicate.
Right there. He said that should be no more called tender and delicate, because that's because all these other nations that Babylon have been basically bullying throughout the whole earth. Okay, they bullying a lot of nations, so they're going to be no more called tender and delicate, because they're going to take those nuclear missiles. Okay,
it says there's no more throne. Right. America, Babylon the Great sits on the highest of the high. That's the harlot that sits on the beast, and that represents the highest. Like that rule the world, as in Job 9:24. They said, like the Lord said, there be no more throne. He's going to take away that comfort of being on top and base them to the bottom.
And as the scripture says, and he said, for the days of trouble, they shall be against her round about. So they go, that further proof that all the other nations that's against Babylon, aka America. All right, this is verse 3. It says, against him that bended it said, against him that bended like the archer bend his bow, and against him that lift himself up in the brigand and spared ye not her young men, destroyed ye utterly all her hope. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. All right, and it said, for Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, or of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel.
Real quick, just a point on that, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 4. It's talking about the land of Chaldeans, which spawned their lands, Babylon, America. All right, it said the Chaldeans were masters of witchcraft and sorcery, just like modern day Babylon. That's how it goes down to that witchcraft, sorcery, and all that.
The media, media goes in the media. That's how they run their enchantments and they witchcraft and they sorcery. It's through their news propaganda outlets. The media, their agendas. Like you probably appreciated earlier, the other nations are mad that have drunk that wine of Babylon the Great, man. on her philosophy.
In that very same chapter right
You
here.
know what I'm saying? They done took on the ways of that, and it's destroyed their country, destroyed their sovereignty, because they took it on the wicked ways of Babylon, man. That's why the heathen raged.
And I got one to back that first verse up, the destroying wind. You know, and you go to Revelation chapter 7, going into the angels, you know, holding back that destruction. You know, it's the same thing, that destroying wind. But this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 25. The Lord, how about you outside, has opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, God of hosts, in the land of Chaldeans. You know, we know that end all be all is going to be, you know, by way of thermonuclear missiles, ICBMs.
That's that destroying wind that precept was talking about. You read something about bending the boat.
Yeah.
I got.
I'm gonna go ahead and read it again.
Read that. I got one to go with that.
Okay, all right. It's Jeremiah chapter 51 and 3. And it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifts himself up, and bridging Dan, and spare ye not her young man, destroy ye others, all her hosts. It said all of her hosts, okay? So destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Like I said earlier, that host that's going into, you know, that rulership, they're heavy. You know, all their governing body, man, everything he saw on build, he put up, is about to be destroyed. Like the priesthood is going to go in what you just brought out. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and 13. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the end of the world. And see that? You see how the Most High said, for strong is the right hand that bend the bow? Who sits on the right hand of Yahweh? There's Yahweh shot, man. He gonna make all these devils launch their nukes off, man. When they launch their nukes off, and he gonna make when they come back on Babylon, the European Edomite, anything where it's a lot of Edomites at, man, it's about to be destroyed. Specifically, most of the arrows gonna come hit Babylon the Great with the Americans, you know. And he said, they're gonna be shot into the end of the world, you know. Babylon the Great is the end of the world. The war started on the East Coast, and it's gonna end on the West Coast. We over in the West, we in America. So the end of the world where all the missiles about to hit, man. This place about to take on all the thermonuclear missiles. That striker, that's gonna be that destroying wind gonna pop up. And I'm keep on reading on 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, they shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, it shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like an arrow with the shadow of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall not be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And that right there say, woe is me. He said it twice. That's the destruction to this place, man.
Y'all good.
Yeah.
And the plagues is going to be a plague. The ultimate plague is going to be a plague in them hot thermonuclear missiles.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Amen. That's fire.
Thermonuclear fire, man. Our Bible, this book that's thousands years old, you know, perfectly prophesied how they gonna die right there. When you like, well, I brought out, only thing they can do that to you is the thermonuclear fire. He said the eyes will melt in their sockets, their tongue gonna melt in their mouth. Man, the missiles gonna melt this place, man. And that's gonna be for the wave, destroying wind hit you. That's gonna be the first initial shock that hit you, that first radiation that hit you. That's gonna make your stuff all, you know, consume away while you standing. You know? That's a horrible way to die right there, too. Hey, and the Bible specifically spelled out how they're gonna die. You know, and you can see it. That's why Russia, Ukraine is kicking all this stuff up, man. It's gonna climax World War III. And you know, hey, and at the climax of that, everybody gonna push the button. Everybody gonna launch their nukes off. All nukes gonna get launched. You know, and most of them, Babylon the Great gonna take the most of them, man. You know, like a missile. They said an arrow. When you look at an arrow, it looks like a missile. It's like a rod. That ain't like what I said earlier. Babylon the Great is compared to a whore. Hey, she about to open her legs, take all them rods, man. Them hot rods. And she gonna get an STD she ain't gonna never recover from. She gonna burn it up completely. All the rods she's about to take.
read Jeremiah 51:3 again, and then I got another precept to follow up. So it's Jeremiah 51 again. It said Jeremiah 51:3. It said, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up, and his rising then, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Okay, and then part where it says, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and 9. And it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So that part where it says, destroy utterly his host, it's talking about the people that joined in along with the devil. Okay? All right, now going back, I got one precept before I go home.
That's the point, was that last little part you read, going into, was that Revelation, we're talking about the devil be loose for a little season. Well, that's going to the end of that little season, the destruction, the end of Esau's world is going to be by way of that ICBM missiles returning outside the holy angels of chariots.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 6. And it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. All right?
I got a quick one. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's that trouble that the Lord is bringing. He's telling you to come up out of that because he's bringing that vengeance, that destruction, that destroying your land, man.
Yeah, right here, another quick precept to go on along with that is the 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. And it says, wherefore come out from among them, be ye separate, says the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing. And it says, touch not the unclean thing, meaning the ways of this world, the philosophy that Esau Edom had put on the whole earth. Okay, it says, touch not that unclean thing, don't receive it. All right, it says, and I will receive you. Okay, so that's how you repent. You got to reconsider your ways.
I got one to back that up with Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of the sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. And that's going into that salvation, which is going to come for the elect. All right, with the other precept, enter into my chambers, Isaiah, I think.
Yeah.
Enter into thy chambers, So, hey, we are instructed to come out of this world mentally, physically, but hey, the point gonna come, with the elect is going to have to keep that salvation from on high. How about you not shot?
I got another quick one right here. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17, and verse 17. And it says, for in the division of the nation of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. So every nation, there's a total of 18 nations around the whole earth, and every nation have a ruler. All right, it said, but Israel is the Lord's portion. Okay, which they backed up. The head of every man is Yahweh Shah Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh Shah is Yahweh. Okay, that's in order. So that's why Yahweh Shah told us to turn back from the ways of his Babylon. Okay, and it says in verse 18, who being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, do it not forsake him. All right, so that's how you got to repent and forsake this way. Okay, so going back into
that separation, because the Lord separated Israel, man. He called us a holy, peculiar people unto him. But as the prophecy of the 2/3 of the wicked of Israel got to be, put to death by pain, as the scriptures say. So, hey, the whole message is, hey, come up out of this wickedness and come back into the marvelous light of the Yahweh Bashim outside, who called you. It says, many are called, but few are chosen, or something like that. But I got a quick one to go into that separation and how the Lord took us out of darkness. This is 1 Peter 2 and 9. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praise of him who have called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. Who called us out of the darkness into the marvelous light? That was Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, Yahweh Shai in particular. But yeah, he called us out of that darkness so we could be saved and ultimately see that salvation of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua.
I got one to go in for you to start again, huh? This second address, 15 and 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So that back what Ock just said right there. Both of y'all like our people that ain't coming back to Yahweh Shah, putting their covering on, coming back to the law. Hey, they about to get, what Babylon the Great about to get. Same thing she about to get. I'm gonna bump up.
Yeah, I didn't know,
to
bro.
23. And this second address, 15 and 23. The fire is gone forth from his wrath and consume the foundation of earth. And the sinners like the straw that it can do. So all our people that is not put off the ways of Babylon the Great, that still been a Babylonian, still carrying American customs, hey, that person said you're going to burn with this place, man. Because most I don't like this place. Babylon the Great is tailored everything against Yahweh Shah. They're the anti-Messiah, man, anti-Christ.
I don't want to back that up. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Ooh, I like it. What was that?
Malachi chapter 4, verse 1.
Ooh, hey, that right there hit on the head right there. That shit chills on you right there, make you get right.
Yeah, I mean, you look around and if the Lord dealing with you, give you, the spirit to be able to understand this message, understand the scriptures, you understand that, like the uncle was saying, this world is totally opposite of the way that Yahweh Shai wants it to be. Right? Which the way it's going to be. Once the kingdom is established in righteousness. But I mean, you look around you, and everybody's just basically 2/3 of all these heathens who matter. They just missile food at the end of the day. America is going to be burned, and those whom left in are going to be burned with it. It's that simple.
That's their consolation, probably make it past the fame in the sword and the insurrection.
Yeah.
It's your prize. You get to burn up.
Let's say if you escape the famine, the sword should destroy, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's why, and a lot of those people don't get destroyed because they're being conformed to this world. As you read the book of Romans, 12 and 2, it says, "Be not conformed to this world. This world is full of wickedness." It goes against the scripture, the law, everything that the world was prophesied, everything that this world promotes. It goes against the Heavenly Father.
Okay. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right, exactly. So you got to renew your mind. Basically, renew your mind according to this. I can walk through. Y'all good.
It's like Yahweh Shai said. It's like Yahweh Shai.
We're not blocking that. Y'all come on through.
So Yahweh Shai said, unless you become as little babes, you cannot enter into the kingdom. You come to paraphrase that. Once you come to this truth, that's you got to, basically reset. A spiritual reset, because we was on that gross darkness, under plantation Christianity or whatever, off doctrine we was in, and we basically had to do that spiritual reset, being in the truth now.
I had to come to that fountain of living waters, man. The scriptures for the living waters. And basically you gotta get brainwashed again, man. You gotta wash your mind up again. Your mind gotta be cleansed. Your heart gotta be cleansed.
Exactly, because your flesh, just like I say, the spirit, the flesh, war with one another. Your flesh, and he's programmed to these so-called religions that say, hey, you can do what you will. You know what I mean?
Do what thy will,
spirit. Man, that's what I say. It's a constant, constant fight, constant battle. And then you see all these those who do just wickedly, just non-stop, like it ain't nothing. And we're tangled in this world with them, so it's kind of, it's tough at the end of the day, but we have, what the power and spirit, how about you outside to help us at the end of the day, where everybody else is kind of, dead.
We got a spiritual battle, man. The spirit is battling the flesh, so that's why you got to feed your spirit daily in order to keep your flesh at bay. Because the flesh loves Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is tailored to your flesh.
The flesh is
That's what it said, meditate on the word. I got a scripture to back y'all up right here. You know, it says Isaiah 55:6. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found; call ye upon him while he is near." And verse 7 is the point. It says, "Let the wicked forsake his way." And it goes to the point where the Akashan you brought out. He said, "Put out that old man." So let the point. It says, "Let the wicked forsake his way. Forsake your evil deeds." All right, and the unrighteous man his thought, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, that he will abundantly pardon. Okay? So everybody that's being forsaken, being conformed to this world, the Almighty now God is not going to pardon him. Okay? But he's going to bring that destruction. He's going to go back. Because, right along with him destroying America against Babylon the Great, he's going to destroy those people that conform to the world as well.
And that mainly goes for the 2/3, because the 2/3 say, shit, you have a chance to seek the Lord. These other nations don't, because the Lord gave you the commandments to follow, and not these other nations, and not Esau, Edom. But I got a quick one to go into that. This is the parable of the wheat and tares, and like how the Lord is going to let us grow all together in His wicked kingdom, but He's going to root up the. This is Matthew 13, and I guess I'm gonna start at 29. I'm gonna start at 29. Says, but he said, "Nay, least while you gather up the tares." Does she gather up the tares? Yeah, y'all good. Sorry. It's a walkway. but he said, nay, at least while you gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Verse 30 it says, let both grow together until the harvest. That harvest is that day of the Lord, man. It says, and until the time of the harvest, I will say unto the reaper, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. So, hey, that's that time when the nuclear fire hit, man. The Lord is gathering up all the tares of Israel, all the wicked ones, and He's going to leave them here to burn. But unto the righteous, He said,
real quick on that part where it said the reaper, those the death angel that Yahweh created, because He also said there be spirits created for vengeance. He's going to send those reapers to go gather up those tares.
You can also say Yahweh Shai's the reaper, man.
Yep.
But ultimate reaper. It says it said, and bind them up in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. And that barn is that salvation. That barn is that chariot that's gonna come, and them angels that's coming, that's marking you with that the watch, so you can also be saved into that chariot.
So that's the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, the house of David. I was
Yeah,
saying
that's the kingdom of heaven right there, you know. I got one of the Lord's tabernacle. Go ahead.
Write that up. Zechariah chapter 13. I start verse 7. Awake, O sword. All right, and we know Esau Edom to be that sword, you know. He said, against my shepherd and against the man that is my fellow, said the Lord of hosts, smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little one. And it shall come to pass that all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So, you know, 2/3 will be cut off and die during these beginning of sorrows, Jacob's trouble. You know, that's going to become 2/3 of Israel. You know,
you read verse 7 in there too.
Yeah.
You see, so that part where it says, awake, O sword, that's Esau Edom. Okay, so those who control the missile, that's those who control all that have the military and stuff like that. So,
Revelation 12:12. The Lord going to put it in these devils' heart, to come with that wrath. You know.
I got one before you get back on it. This is the precept. Garu Yasharala, Shalom. While we on Israel clean themselves up. This is Ezekiel 36:25. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. This place is all about idol worship, man. They got a show called American Idol. It's all about making you a celebrity, following idols. These like I said, these celebrities, these false pagan religious rites like Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day. Yeah, you know, all that type of stuff, man. We don't do that no more. That's that precept, like we don't cleanse our mind. We don't worship idols anymore. I'm gonna hit 26. A new heart also will I give you. They go into a new mind. And a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I'll give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and yes, you keep my judgments and do them. That's going to repentance right there, man. Like the ox talking about the ox, you got to be in the spirit of repentance. Because if you're not, you're going to get what these worldly people going to get. And we already know the judgment of Babylon the Great is going to be. It's going to be the same thing how he did something before. He's going to rain down fire and brimstone. This time in the form of hot thermonuclear missiles.
Aimed right at America. Main target, America.
In order for you to come in, in order for you to come in with spirit of repentance, that the scripture says you got to become with humility. Okay, the only way you be able to receive this word is you got to be humble. If you're not humble, then therefore you're pride. And as the scripture said, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And that's what we are telling you. If you got pride, you're gonna fall right along with America against Babylon the Great.
Esau proud. That's why pride in that devil.
Just like the scripture say, we really paraphrase. If you run the world love you as its own. Really paraphrase. And that's the same thing with this truth. When Yahweh Shah was on the scene, you see what happened. We know what happened. That basically the world is anti-Messiah. It's like brother said, anti-Christ, anti-Messiah. Like, so if you're coming with the truth, if you're coming in that energy of Yahweh Shah and righteousness, then you're gonna be frowned upon, looked down upon. Eventually made it into like enemy. They go great inspiration.
That's the spirit. You see that Eve that walked by and she being mothers when we walked by.
That's why
that goes back to what you were saying. They frowned upon us. She was looking at us crazy.
That's why I threw in that in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, your ass gonna get hit.
And I want to hear that's an eerie sound to somebody trying to go to Babylon the Great. They love America. The whole world loves this whore. Or they used to. Now that the other kings are starting to hate her. They're like, man, we done took our whole ways. Now look at my economy. Everybody gets say that's why they throwing away the petrodollar.
That's why I say Revelation said, they also hate the whore and burn it with the fire. Fire going to the Mycenaean Jews, the whore, very.
This is 2 Ezra 9. I'm going to read down to 12. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case which have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment.
That's the spirit right there. They should be in pitiful case with those who abuse my way. They go to the false prophets right there. Those who prophesy deceitfully and abusing the ways of Yahweh Shah. Those who take advantage and the Christian church. Now they take advantage and take people's tithe money and so on and so forth.
I'm gonna go into the 2/3 like that lady that just walked by her, that Eve, the mean one, and we bringing out the truth. She despised the Lord's ways. We over here looking at us like we doing something wrong, and she over there at work about to go to a baseball game and eat some damn funnel cakes.
Right. What they call it, the Mayfest, right?
Yeah, Mayfest, another festivity, man. Yeah. And they go what you just said, like what you said, the world should hate you. Yeah. You bring out righteousness. That's the proof right there, man. She don't hate us. She hates the words of Yahweh Shah. Yeah. She hates righteousness. Yeah, we was out here talking about if we all was out here in our rainbow stuff and hanging out, little rod pops and be cool with you.
Working at you, they gave us a smile and like, y'all doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly. Man, you can be talking off the wall stuff that don't even make no sense. Man, but you gonna gather, you gonna have a gathering. But you out here preaching the words of Yahweh outside. Right? That's why.
This is verse 10. Verse 10 says, "For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me." Verse 11, and they have loved not my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance have opened up unto them, understand not, but despise thee. The same shall the same shall know it after death by pain. And that death by pain is, that ultimate nuclear missile that Jeremiah 51 is going into. That destruction of Babylon the Great, that second death.
I got one real quick thing. Just back that up. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So, all the brothers, sisters, whomever in the word and the truth, but that we have to stay circumspect, redeeming the time. All right, because we know, the prophecies will play out exactly how the Lord scripted it. All right, we know there's gonna be famine, plagues, time of Jacob's trouble, begin sorrows. It's gonna be a lot of trials and tribulations out there. But if we are that elect, the Lord will preserve us, till the end. But we're gonna have to see, we got to see a lot of dead bodies, a lot of destruction, a lot of a lot of judgment.
That's how 1,000 fall left outside and 10,000 left there right here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dead bodies right there.
A lot, And Lord willing, we got a chariot with our name on it, so we don't see that fire and destruction. That's why the chariots are so important, man. That's like the New Age art.
I got them on right now. He got the perfect
Yeah, there you go. Let's say the chariots, man. You got them their name on it to beam you up, which goes to I might pull that, man. I think that's in Psalms or maybe Job, where it said, "With my eyes should see the reward of the wicked." We need that aerial escape. That's the only way you gonna escape this place, man.
And then
That's Psalms 91, huh? Yep. See,
that's the thing, being not being in the spirit, to please Yahweh Shem Yahshai, rather than being overcome by this world, which is very distracting. Brothers and sisters, whomever, whatever it is. Hey, there's so many distractions on this world that can just keep you from the light, and we see it on a daily. We're out here on the highways and byways. People out there just walking by, go get their food, get fatter, or whatever it is. At the end of the day, that's their distraction. That's what the Lord has them blinded by. And those who get hit with this word, hey man, it brings you back to life, like the what's some things that shock the defibrillator. Boom, man. Hey, every once in a while.
That's they take out their flesh. The stony heart and put you in the fleshy heart, man.
Yeah,
they hard headed.
Every once in a while, somebody might walk by and hear a little bit of this word and just kind of give that little shock, that little
dead bones coming back alive, man. You come back alive. Yup. You know what I'm saying? Valley of dry bones. That valley, what is that valley? Babylon the Great, man. It's the valley, the shadow of the valley of death.
That brings me to the next precept, going back into Jeremiah 51:7. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. But it goes back into those distractions that the Akushan and Teyasman is going into. Okay, a lot of people right now, they don't recognize that World War III is getting ready to pop out, but they still in the fear of birth right now. A lot of people, you see all these people walking by, this is the Mayfest. They distracted by these events going on. But in the background, okay, you got China, Russia, and all these other countries that join in. They're gearing up, and they about to make war on this place. All right? And it says, the nations have drunken of her wine, and therefore the nations are mad. All right? You said that earlier, all right? Okay? And it says, verse 8, and it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take bond for her pain, if so be she may be healed. All right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reach unto heaven, and it lifted up even to the sky.
I got one back up real quick. Matthew 24, verse 30, 37. The words of Yahushua, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, till the day that Noah entered into the ark and knew not until the flood came. So he had Noah, he was prophesying about the flood. And like I said, the people, whomever, basically everybody in the whole world, the Lord had the spirit of slumber on, except for Noah and his family, because no one was able to receive that message, you know. And it said, and knew not until the flood came. So, these people ain't gonna realize that this is the truth. They ain't gonna realize that the Bible's, you know, living is you know, playing out. All right, until that destruction comes, until that flood comes, which, you know, that the flood that's coming now is gonna be by way of the icy missiles, you know, like fire.
Real quick, I got to put them back.
I didn't finish. It said, "Do not until the flood came and took them all away. So should the coming of the Son of Man be." So,
I got you. I got a quick precept to go into that, because they knew not until the flood came, right? So we got to come in that same spirit as Noah was when he was building that ark. So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. And it says, "But of the times and seasons present, ye have no need that I write unto you." All right. So when you repent and you get into this way, you basically coming in the spirit of Noah. When you renew your mind, you coming in that spirit. All right. In verse 2, "For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Okay. So we ain't gonna know exactly when the Lord comes, but we know He's on His way. All right. And it says, verse 3, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a well upon a woman which shall, and they shall not escape." Okay, so that's
I got one to go to the precept earlier about Babylon. It's Revelation 14:8. "And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." That goes with that precept purpose you brought out earlier, man. You know,
I'll go ahead and read it again for you. This is Jeremiah 51:7. And it says, "Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad."
you know, and see, they're mad because now they joined themselves to Babylon the Great. And now they know they're going to get the wrath of the Lamb. They're going to get the same wrath of fornication. That's the Isaiah, what's that? I want to say 15 and 13, those joined hand in hand should be destroyed. So now they're like, dang, Babylon about to get these missiles. Since I done tied myself with her philosophy, now I'm about to get it too. That's kind of like being in on a drug deal. You selling drugs, you know, one of the dudes get caught, and he gonna rat out everybody get caught, man. The weakest one of that crew get caught up, now they nervous, smoking a cigarette, he telling it, and he in there singing like a bird, man. And I said, you know, the police, doop, doop, doop. And he told us everything. So now you get the same, you know.
Yeah, or you in the car with a murderer and something. You didn't even do it, dude. You got to smacking somebody, and he jumped in the car with you. Now you over here accessory. You joined yourself with him. But I got a precept that goes back to that too. This is Psalms 37 and 35. "I have seen wickedness spreading itself like a green bay tree." So I have seen wickedness and great power. I mean, and that wickedness and great power. That's Esau Edom. He's in the highest power, man. He's running this earth. So, and it says he's spreading himself like a green bay tree. He influenced the whole earth, man. He passed on all his wickedness and all his philosophies to all these different countries and continents. That's why you see Moabites over there in three-piece suits with briefcases and not kimonos. And that's
why you see all those Ukrainian women. Because you remember when Russia had invaded Ukrainian women over there bucking up to men with guns. That's feminism right there.
I see that. Then you used to see them not Arabs but Ishmael. They had the Ishmael women had their little head on, their hair wrapped, their face covered, their whole body imperial. Now they just got the head wrap on, their face uncovered with stretchy bands on, and the shirt with a V cut with their cleavage out just bouncing around. That's Babylon the Great spreading this wickedness all across the whole world, man. That's that Green Bay tree that covers.
And like I like about the Green Bay tree, when it covers, it puts everybody else in darkness. Right. They took out the light. You know, Esau spreads darkness wherever he go. He spread wickedness, man. So now, that being said, all everybody knows darkness, confusion. Babylon goes to confusion.
With that precept where it says those who walk in darkness and cannot see where they're going or something like that. Luke said first.
I know blind lead the blind, you fall into a
That
ditch.
was too, but it was. I think it's the one in Psalms. I can't think of it like when somebody walk in darkness because when Babylon was
Grown like a grown like a trumpet in the noonday. Yeah, I know you're talking about now. I'm probably gonna get that. That precept I loosely quoted earlier, that's Isaiah 13 and 15. So lock it, not 15, 13. Isaiah 13, 15. Those join hand in hand. But yeah, I like what you said. I have power for the spirit bring that out. I can't think where it said right now, but I'm just talking about them. They grow in the dark as it is noonday, because they blind. And that's that green bay tree, that wickedness that Babylon spread, put everybody in darkness. Because they done bought the lies. Because Babylon the Great don't do them spread lies, man. That's all they do is create confusion. You got to think about the alphabet agenda. That's straight confusion. And everybody taking that on. That's why them Hamites is mad. They're like, don't come over here with that. Dominican Republic ran out the American officials. They were trying to bring that alphabet over there. They said, no, don't bring that over here, man. We about making babies.
That reminds me of Haiti back in the day when Esau tried to come over there and Haiti, them Haiti people, they destroyed them.
They took out their president. She didn't want to go for you.
That's why now to this day, shit, when it comes to Haiti and places over there, Esau don't give a fuck about them, man. Shit, they just let them be one of the poorest nations because hey man, they rose up against Esau when they came over there and they destroyed all of them damn near.
And they won't drink that wine. And they refusing that wine. And they smacked that cup over. I ain't drinking that. It's poison.
But that's gonna lead to the
that's them Levites. That's why that's the try to fucking preach the word, man. The Levites already know, like, man, they know what's up.
But half of them 2/3 anyway, because they, even though they got a zeal for the Most High, because they're not according to knowledge. They know that's wrong, so they ain't gonna do it. But yet they still holler sweet baby Jesus and Mary and shit.
And doing voodoo.
That's
what I'm going to say.
That's why through the spirit, you got some of the elder apostles on down, like my brothers. You got prophets on the highways and byways, highways and hedges, bringing out this truth. Condemning the wickedness, the abominable acts that take place upon this earth. I got a couple precepts here in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'll start at verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, and this is going to happen. The Lord's going to bring these upon the world. All right, verse 6. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth. All right, this whole earth is polluted with the wickedness. I started with the American battle on the Great. It say, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore says the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
I like this part, man. Not to cut you off, but I like this part where it said that hurtful words are being fulfilled. Which goes back to Jeremiah 51, where it said that wickedness has reached up to the heavens. It's been fulfilled.
And his point is that the Lord said, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. But what Esau, Edom, what everybody do, hold their tongue. What freedom? No freedom of speech.
Right.
You can't talk about these sodomites here in the land of Babylon the Great. You know what I mean? Hate speech. Hey, the Lord said, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
Salakia. That's why they put up the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, brought up that made up their task force of disinformation. But that disinformation is really the truth, and they bring the disinformation. They trying to cut this truth off and hit you with the okie doke, man.
Because they want us to stay in sin. They want Joshua, because if Joshua stay in sin, they stay in power. Y'all ain't coming.
So 9/11, that's the mindset they have, and the mindset they push. That America, everything just going to go on and on and on. That's how the end to all things.
The house should continue up. That spirit.
Finishing this off, say, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent righteous blood cries unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
And we're doing that every day. We're doing that right now on the highway and hedges right now, complaining to the Lord continually to get us up out of here. This place is covered in blood, man. He spilled all that damn blood.
And that's what Numbers 35, 33, 33.
Bloody man.
Blood has defied the land. way this land gonna be cleansed is by the blood of him that shed it. You know, the paraphrase that Numbers 35.
Back on the Jeremiah 4 on.
Alright, so this, I left off in Jeremiah chapter 7. Okay, so Jeremiah 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her, take balm for her pain, and so she may be healed. It said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let her go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto the heavens and lifted up even into the sky. Okay, that goes to that preacher that brought out. And it said, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. All right, make bright the arrows, gather the shield. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the business of the Lord, the business of his temple.
I got a preacher go right with that too. And I like how it says battle. You know what I'm saying? So check this as Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. You know? So that right there show you like, hey, confusion of noise, this place Babylon is about confusion. So this battle is gonna be a bunch of confusion brought up. You got all this propaganda. You know, they got Putin as the war enemy.
That's why that precept said, stir up the kings of the Medes.
Yep.
The Medes is Putin.
God, you know, and it stirred them up for what? For the battle.
For the war.
Yup. He said for every battle warrior, use noise, moments roll the blood, but this should be burning a fuel of fire. And that's back this World War III about to be, hey, it's gonna climax with Optimus turn on nuclear fire, man. This is gonna be the war to end all war.
And it's spot on how the scriptures prophesied that. He said, stir up the kings of the Medes. And what's happening now? Russia's over there stirring up the world.
Everybody gets moved. They need a war bomber. They need to do what's it, terrorists? What is the axis of evil?
Big
All that. Tyrant.
I'm gonna read verse 12 back y'all up even further. It says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambush. The Lord thou by y'all shall have both devised and done that which has faith against the inhabitants of Babylon. All right. Matter of fact, I want to read that in the NLT version. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 12, in the NLT version. And it says, raise the battle flag against Babylon. Reinforce the guard and station the watchmen, preparing the ambush, for the Lord will fulfill all his plans against Babylon. So there you go. Right? So y'all said that America against Babylon's great is going to be destroyed. And he got plans to destroy his place. All right? That's why he said forsake her, so you would not receive for her plans.
I got one of the precept for that early and what you got too. So line up my line for my precept. We're gonna find out what's fuel for that fire. Check it out. This is Isaiah 9:19. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkness. They go to that Green Bay tree you brought it earlier. And the people should be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Hear that? So the people gonna be fuel for this fire.
And the people, people like fuel for the fire, they're like gasoline.
God, like fire alarm. Like little sticks. Hey, who brought up that preserve? Was that you that said to burn up the branches thereof? Yeah. So I think one of us brought out some of the branches thereof gonna burn them up. The stubble, yeah. Hey, that's gonna be them people, man.
And basically,
if they burn it, man, that's like wood for the fire.
Yeah, they kindle it.
How God said it, he said anyone that brings forth not good food shall be hewed down and cast into the fire.
God. You fuel for it, so you firewood. Basically, that's how I call it you. You're gonna be barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Like them hot coals, you barbecue there, other bird. It's time to cook. Most about to cook them, man. That second death. Hey, that's how much wisdom the Most High has. First time he cleaned the world up with water. It was dirty. He cleaned the water, the cleaning agent. This time it's so filthy. You know something real dirty, contaminated with disease. Hey, you come with that flamethrower. Hey, you got to scorch it. Hey, you just come in just with a suit on. Hey, you just put a fire to that sucker, man. That's how dirty it is. Hazmat suit with a what's that? The fire tank.
Yeah.
Gasoline to scorch that sucker, man. Because it's sick, man. Esau got boo-boo agenda everywhere, man. It's filthiness, man. It's going out everywhere. Bestiality. This place is sick, man. Child sex trade.
Hey, matter of fact, y'all see them Jewish rabbis got detained by the FBI? Because they got caught up and they was selling child sex and they was selling baby organs. They got caught up. It was 17 rabbis. Yep.
Dang, see that?
Jewish rabbis, that's that.
Hey, that's your witness. Hey, he shall prove. Hey, uncover. He shall be made bare.
Yep.
There you go, man. Showing you like, man, we ain't just saying this. They are the wicked, man.
And that further proves that they're not the true people of the Lord. Because the people of the Lord, they don't do wickedness like that, man.
So that's basically showing that's who part of the black working trade.
Exactly.
It's ran by the Jewish people. If that ish y'all said, means you are like, but you are not. Right. And plus, like you read the scriptures, if they were the true people, the kingdom of heaven would already be established. Wouldn't all this wickedness be going on? So that proves they not the people of the Most High.
He said, then I will put you back in your lane.
Yeah. And not only then he said you will learn of war no more.
Yeah.
Therefore, the war, we wouldn't be talking about war right now.
That proves they're not the people, man.
Put your swords back into the room. Yeah.
All right. I want to continue on this one.
I got one real quick, just go along with Jeremiah chapter 30. I'll start verse 6. Again, we coming into these times where the time leading up to the ultimate destruction will be filled with trials and tribulations and let's say mourning, woe, lamentations. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. He said, Jeremiah, it said, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turned to paleness. That's what Jeremiah's like. He's like, in the vision saying, what? There's a man, travail with child. How come I see all these men, humped over, their hands on their loins? That's
because they in their pain. They in their pain for the loss that they about to receive. Right there. They're gonna feel that pain where they gonna have to double over and take it like a man when he loses his wife. They gonna double over in pain like that.
Just like say, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as woman travail, and all faces turned into paleness. He said, alas, that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, that he shall be saved out of it. And just like the scriptures say, it's Brother Cranberry, things are written aforetime, written for our learning, written for our knowledge. You got to think the men of the Lord of old, Job, David, Daniel, Job, it's all the men that were put in particular trials, like Daniel in the lion's den, the 3 holy children, and hey, they were going through it. All right, the apostles, they all ended up dying for the truth. You know what I mean? Like
what they did Apostle Peter, where they hung him upside down on the cross and killed him, slaughtered him like that.
Yeah, and the time will come where we all gonna go through it. We all. But just like I say, my servants shall eat. So hey, if it be Lord will, you are that elect. The Lord not gonna let you just. He might lose a few pounds. You know what I mean? We can all lose a few pounds probably. The Lord not gonna let you just die out unless it be His will.
Yeah, and to get back on topic, them chariots. That's gonna be your way of escape. You gotta think of Enoch, Elijah. That's what you should be getting your mind right, man. To get on the chariot
when he was brought back.
That's the only way you're gonna escape this. We don't have $1 million bunkers. You ain't got no way to escape this thermonuclear destruction Babylon is gonna get. You gotta get right and get on one of them holy chariots that's gonna come. Get on that ark.
Believe and faith.
And your oil gotta be burned because that oil lights your lamp up. This place about to be destroyed. So you make it through the payment of the story. There you go.
It's Jeremiah chapter 51 and 13. He said, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasure, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee.
I got a quick one to go with that. It says, oh man, that sit on many waters. That's Esau Edom. He everywhere, man. He in every different country, every different nation, trying to run it and trying to cause wickedness. I got a precept. This is Micah 2:2. It says, and they covered in fields and take them by violence. That's Esau Edom, man. He covered in fields, just like it said, his covetousness that the brother just read in Jeremiah 51. That means he's wrongfully wanting what's yours, man. And he's looking to take it by any means necessary. Is it?
Real quick, just in case you think we lying, all you got to do is look up how many military bases is around the world about that America actually have and own.
I just say this. I get a precept after the Habakkuk chapter.
Yeah, just read it on. I'm gonna start it over. It says, and they coveted fields, and he take them by violence, and they houses, and taketh them away, so that they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what he do, man. He oppresses a man in his house, and it's his heritage. Just like us right now, he took our whole heritage and claimed it to be himself, calling himself Ish, which means pertaining to or liking to. Call himself Israelis instead of Israelites, man. That just lets you know. I got another quick one. This is Sirach 12 and 17. It says, let's see. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And that's Esau Edom, man. Like that's Esau Edom, man. He's everywhere. He sit up on many waters. Anything, you got something going on over there, I'm gonna come over there and act like I'm gonna help you. But I'm gonna go ahead and take your shit while I'm helping you.
Called red-handed, the red bag, criminal.
I'm gonna read this. It says, if adversity come upon thee, you shall find him there first, and thou shalt present to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee.
It's like God is the blankets. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got a quick precept. Yeah, to back up what y'all said when y'all talking about the waters and all that, this is going to put clarification on who that is. Revelation 17:15. He said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. So like I said earlier, the whore sits on all the people. They're going to bring a you brought out, man. Esau is the head of all the crime going on right now. He's the head leader of all the wickedness spread out to the whole world, man. You know what I'm saying? He said that's where the whore sit. Where does the whore sit? The whore sits in America. Babylon the Great. This place compared to the whore. That's why, like we talked about earlier before we started camp, this place loves whoredom. It spreads whores. It gives them liberty to be whores.
That's saying the horse is on top of me. The horse is on everybody, man. The whole thing.
And take advantage of everybody. You know, take your resources like a lazy whore. That's what a whore does in Babylon. You know, a whore, all she do is give up sex, spread her wickedness, and take all your resources, man. If you ain't got enough, she goes to the next one. You know, she's like what they say, a thirsty traveler. She'll drink from every cistern and open her quiver to every arrow. Hey, this one right here about to open her quiver to all these thermonuclear arrows. The missiles, man. You know, because she deserves it. Because all the whoredom that have ran out in this country. You know, all you see, all the women, they're in that same spirit as Babylon the Great. All you see is a bunch of, you know, like scripture say, whores and harlots. That's all you see.
County Island.
God.
And it all goes back to, you know, the wicked being in rule, pushing that energy, you know, by way of the media and all that shit, you know, TV. Any people are true. You know what I mean? Yeah, have a good. You want me to get it? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse. I'll start verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yet also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as dead, and cannot be satisfied.
Man, that went right along with Jeremiah, man. That Esau Edom, man. covering the whole earth, man, upon all the waters, man.
We cannot be satisfied.
Never keep it that home.
Is that what was it?
Spot on.
I can't think of that precept. Saying, Brother Perry, if great gatherers come, will you not leave some?
Yeah.
I think Matthew. I think that's Matthew.
Yeah, these devils, they don't believe that.
They're not satisfied. They call that the nigger. They always want like what Ox said earlier. I was going with what somebody else got. They're never satisfied. Like right now, they got all the riches of the earth, and they still looking to take from the poor. They still taxing the best of the hood. They still raising the rent up. Still raising the prices on food. You know, the devil doesn't care. I just did a lesson. We have 614 billionaires according to last year. Man, that's too many billionaires in one spot, man. That's why the rich get rich, poor get poor. That shows that's putting their hands on who the niggard is, man. That shows Babylon does not fit the rule. Because if he wanted the country to continue, get the economy right, all you got to do is open up their checkbook. He don't care. He looking to steal, and then when he get all back, he just gonna run and cut to his bunker. You know, because he know the missiles is coming.
When he stole and hoarded up all the resources and everything he can get, then he want to come and take you because he want that power, man. He definitely got that God complex. He want that chip in you, man.
That's gonna come for the message. That's right around the corner.
That Sirach or Ecclesiastes. That Sirach of wisdom, Solomon, where it talk about because the unrighteous decrees, no God gains. The king is translated. Yeah, translated from one to another. Well, we're waiting on the translation, which will be the wicked being removed from power, and then the righteous starting to get outshined down, coming into power, that eternal kingdom.
I got a quick one right here.
I finished all. I didn't finish this one. Back in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, and it said, "In his as death, it cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, people unto all people. Should not all these take up a parable against him, all these other nations, these beasts, the EU nations? It said, and a taunting proverb against him, that him referring to America, and say, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." All that debt, man.
Yeah. That's why these other nations is hating the whole right now. They clicking up and conspiring on Babylon the Great under the scenes right now. But it's about to be totally out and open. That's why most of these places are clicking up with whoop.
And like I said, because they done took on Babylon's way, they fetched down, they laid it with thick clay, which goes in the debt. Esau got everybody in debt. Everybody. Even Babylon the Great in debt.
And then exactly. He said, laid this up with thick clay. Hey, pretty much China owns this place for all the debt that this place have on them. Man, that's that thick clay.
That's what the elites, the East, the elites, the banking families, the Rothschild, all them, they use America as a corporation.
Get everybody drunk with their whore. It's a whore. Like, we want to entice somebody to do something what you want. I know most dudes got a whore with them. And they entice you they bring the whore in to coerce you into taking the deal. They go get they finest chick, the sweet talking chick, man. She come in, hey, give you a little something to ride up. You sign on that dotted line. Now you got that thick clay.
Hey, if you don't sign on that dotted line, she gonna take you to the house and get you laying on your back, and then Esau busting the door.
With the sword. Either he gonna get you with the pen, he gonna get you with the sword. Which one you want, man? And the back you called for earlier, this is Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So that's a declaration on Esau. Yahweh Shashah said, because you done did all this wickedness, your kingdom about to get blew up with hot thermonuclear missiles. I'm going to set up Israel after you, and they're going to rule in righteousness, man. And Esau only deals with deceit. We're not going to be laying other countries up in thick clay, man, and doing stuff like that. And we're going to rule over them, but they're going to be happy when we in rulership because we just have more wisdom than them, man. Esau is just a fool, and he's wicked, He's not a man of his word. He's a man of lies. That's what it said right there. It said riches got by deceit. Esau didn't get nothing by, diplomacy. He got it by,
diplomatic.
The lie. Thief coming not to kill, steal, and destroy.
God, he come in darkness, man. Like Ox said, lay you down when you ain't looking, make you feel good. You're going to wake up and you ain't got nothing. He own your stuff. He going to be in your office.
That's Esau's one, too. His sword, it is deception. You know,
From prison and deceive the nation.
Yeah, that's what it's fine. And we in the season where he lost the finesse game. The lies is done with. So we know what's next, man. He gonna come with that sword, and then Yahweh gonna come with his sword. His swords, which is them hot thermonuclear missiles. Which, hey, that's that he roll up a stone, the stone roll back on him. Esau made the missiles. Esau nuked somebody. Now he gonna get nuked to oblivion. He gonna get tore up out the frame. Hey, all his work, matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. All his work's gonna get burnt up, man.
Real quick, I got a quick precept to back you up right here. It's James chapter 5:1. It said, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days."
For the last day, read treasure for the last day.
I want to say that their garment was moth-eaten because garment represent the truth. They ain't got the truth. You know what I mean? They come with the lies. You know, they use the Bible as a weapon. You know,
and their garment can go. What you gonna say?
I say their garment can go into their like
cover.
Yeah, they covering and they ability. They just like they royalty. Cause like they used to wear their royal garment, man. And his mouth eating now. Hey, so now we can see through you holy now.
Yeah.
Hey man,
your nakedness is shown.
And it also goes to that precept that I brought earlier: sit in the throne, sit in the dust, on virgin daughter of Babylon. There should be no more throne. So,
yeah, and it's going to I just brought out. That's why the kid has been translated from one people to another. So they're about to get knocked out of rulership, man. The so-called white man is not supposed to rule nothing in the days coming forward, man. Because he done did everything by wickedness. You know, riches got by deceit. You know, all he do is lie. And he's wicked. He's not fit to rule. If he keep ruling, wouldn't no flesh survive. He destroy everybody. That's how dumb this devil is.
written in the scripture too.
I think that John 10:1, the thief coming to steal, kill, and destroy.
John 10,
And Yahweh Shah, was it? I know it's John chapter 10.
somewhere around there.
Yeah. And then Yahweh Shah said he comes to bring you life and have it more abundant.
Because Esau represent death, man. I expect everybody that goes to the agenda he trying to push. That agenda, everybody adopt that agenda. Are we gonna have next GMO babies, laboratory babies? They're gonna be natural newborn babies.
Right.
And the Lord said, "Be fruitful, multiply." How you gonna be fruitful, multiply? And you all in somebody, you know, in the anus.
Yeah,
That's not a womb.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Ain't no fruit come out. Ain't nothing but boo boo.
Then you got
bullshit.
Then you got the people who maybe don't condone those sexual abominable acts and those, but they still be taking they juice and the things and trusting in Esau. At the end of the day, whatever which way you trust in the devil, he's not gonna get where you know what I mean.
Riding the Hershey Highway.
It's gonna lead you to death. You're gonna get a pestilence, and then you're not gonna give up no more seeds, man. It's gonna be the end of your line if you stick, to that lifestyle. It's that. That's why I be looking at LGBT. You can't say nothing to me, man. Oh, alphabet gang. My lifestyle breeds life.
Right.
We make the world go round. Your lifestyle stops life. It's death, man. Would you fit Esau's agenda? Because he talking about you overpopulated, man. They don't want to see no more Jake.
I got that precept you quoted earlier. This is Matthew 24:22. Except those days be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Ooh, you're there for the elect's sake, man. That's showing like we at the tail end. Esau splicing DNA. Esau pushing his pride stuff in your face. And if like I said earlier, if the Most High, like Scripture just said, if the Most High does not, bring Yahweh and bring His judgment coming, destroy Esau, will destroy everybody. They even talk about nuking the moon. How retarded is that?
The damn sun,
blocking the sun. Yeah, man. How retarded is that,
I
man?
go into the same Sirach chapter 10 again, where it's talking about how the unwise king destroyed his people.
Con. It's in that same chapter 10.
That goes with Proverbs 29:2, where it said,
righteous bear rule, people rejoice.
I'm gonna read that again in NLT. It says, in fact, unless that time is the time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of Yahweh's chosen ones.
That's how you know that the wicked is in control. And if the wicked was to further continue, then that nobody would be able. Nobody would have to
It's
say.
just like that movie that Esau come with that look up.
Don't
Oh,
look
yeah.
up, God.
And that's the perfect example of that precept right there. You know, if the Lord was to let these devils continue on, till there'd be nothing. Somebody-
Like the preacher said, he does everything for the elect's sake. Most I don't give a damn about 2/3 right. 2/3 ain't talking about righteousness. 2/3 ain't seeking the kingdom. You want to protect those that seek the kingdom.
About 17 and
Hopefully that.
17 right there, where it said the Lord portion, Israel is the Lord's portion.
Ah.
And that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna save his portion.
The remnant. The
Some
remnant.
message for honor, some for dishonor. You know,
Yeah, Esau is the vessel of dishonor.
it was
Jacob is the vessel of honor.
said many be born in vain. You know,
Yeah. That goes to the 2/3. They was born in vain.
yeah.
As Yasharala, you are born to come back to Yahweh Shah. Get the truth and start worshiping the Lord. If you don't do that, hey, your life was nothing. You was born in vain.
It's like we said, say the world now is for many, but the world to come for few.
God,
You know?
So that's that Zechariah 13 and 8, man. 2/3 don't mean nothing to Yahweh right now, man. He about to burn them up. They was heard just to be missile food.
It's like, what the scripture says that
Esau was born to bring dishonor.
he can do what he wants with his I can't think of it. The Lord can do what he wants with his creation.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he made Esau to be the devil. You know, so-called white man's the devil. All they spread is wicked. They was made to be the vessel of dishonor. They were made for us to look at them and see wickedness, you know, see what a dishonor look like that red one way back there. You know, you see them, you know the red man. You know, that's the devil.
Here it go right here. Let's back you up right here. This Jeremiah chapter 51 and 15. And it said, this is basically talking about Esau. It said, he had made the earth by his power. He had established the world by his wisdom and had stretched out the heavens by his understanding.
We need to roll Jeremiah. We'll be here all night. Yeah, we'll code the backups, man. Get us back on Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 51 and 15 again. He said he had made the earth by his power, which is Esau Edom, just like the Dodger brought out. He spread his wickedness like a green bay tree. All right. He said he had established the world by his wisdom and had stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he uttered his voice, there is a multitude of water in the heaven, and he caused the vapor to ascend from the ends of the earth. He made lightness with rain and bringing forth the wind out of his treasure. Every man is rooted by his knowledge. Okay, and I'm gonna read that again. Every man is rooted by his knowledge. Okay, this world, the Buddhist man, and anybody following that alphabet agenda, you're a Buddhist man by the knowledge of Esau Edom.
What's your thoughts on the cook gas though right there? I know you from somewhere. I know
Yeah.
you.
If you eat it, you good. Smoke, you going on. Now, if you eat it, you all good.
I can't eat it. I gotta smoke it.
Hey, you gotta take up the Lord for that.
Hey, we
You
got
heard.
fight them demons, brother.
All right, it says, and every founder is confounded by the graven image. And it says, for his mountain image is falsehood. Okay? His mountain image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them.
Ooh, that could have went earlier.
And it said, they are vanity, the work of error. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion.
That's why if you join the Esau, you're gonna perish right along with them. That's why the Lord said, if he that touches pitch shall be defiled therewith, and Esau is pitch. So if you touching that pitch, touching without the Esau philosophy, hey man, just like the brother brought out earlier, you're gonna be thrust through with him.
It's another
That's
preacher that I
like
just think
grave.
about.
That's a dead body. Esau dead.
It's another preacher that said any man to be found joined through them, joined with them, shall be thrust through with the sword.
I said 13
Yeah,
percent.
God.
Brought that out earlier.
Okay, God.
They keep on going on.
All right, and verse 19. And it said, the portion of Jacob is not like them. The portion of Jacob is not like them. That goes into that ring. All right. And it said, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nation, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his riders, and with these will I break in pieces the chariots and his riders. With these also will I break in pieces men and women, and with these will I break in pieces old and young. With these I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces the shepherd and his flock, and with these I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. With these will I break in pieces captains and rulers. I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in their sight, says the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroyed mountain, says the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rock, and will make thee a burning mountain.
Okay, I got a precept to go with that. 2 Peter 3 and 12. Looking for a hasten unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with burning heat. So that backs what Oculus brought out there, man. Yahweh shall to burn up everything Esau made, man. All his works, everything he each had no name in the streets, man. Everything he built is about to be destroyed. And I'm gonna get to 13, because this is where we need to be at. Nonetheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So that proves right there, you know, they always feel like, oh, the whole world about to be destroyed. Everybody gonna be destroyed. No, man. You about to be destroyed. Your work's about to be destroyed. We're looking for a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness be rained out. Cleanliness, harmony, and peace. That way we can get our rest.
I said it yesterday in the lesson I did where it said in order for Yahweh shall to rule the world in righteousness, he got to purge out the wickedness of the earth. And that's exactly what he's doing right now by visiting the whole earth. He's purging out all the wickedness.
All right, he's like, he's going to burn it up. So he's going to purge it with that hot thermonuclear fire. You know, burning it, second death. Go ahead, Art.
This is Jeremiah chapter 20, 51 and 26. And they shall not take thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, said the Lord. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Iraq, many, Ashinaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horse to come up at the rough of caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captain thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall perform against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an habitation.
This is Zechariah 2 and 8, and it's going into that because the Lord allowed these damn devils to put his hands on us, man. And that pisses the Lord off because they went too far with it. And that's why the Lord is going to destroy every nation, or he's going to destroy Esau, Edom, and give every nation the business, man. Hey, but these other heathen nations, they're going to get a chance, to enjoy righteousness in the kingdom after they 1,000 years of slavery. But this is Zechariah 2 and 8. It says, but thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory have he sent me upon the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye. And if with the apple of the Lord's eye he touched us, Esau Edom gave us the business for that. You know, he served like Isaac gave. He said, "You will serve your brother." Hey, he served us with that sword first. He gave us the business with that thing. He touched us with it. So the Lord going to do the same thing to him, man. And it said the Lord of hosts. It means just like the brother read in Jeremiah 51, a couple of verses earlier. He said the Lord is the Lord of hosts, man. That's a Lord of armies, man. He controls everything. So Esau Edom is a part of his army. That's why he's destroying himself, and he's going to touch the 2/3. And them nuclear missiles that he says he's going to burn this place and destroy this place with. That's a part of his army. That's a part of his weapons of destruction. You got it.
I got one more for you going, because that's kind of like talking about Esau's kingdom being destroyed. This is Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and heard his waste for the drags of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we return to build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down And they should cause them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. The Lord, hey, Esau forever, man. Esau ain't about to have nothing, man. Esau, hey, his destiny is to be destroyed. So I want to hear that plant-based Christianity. We all get along, come together, man. Little they know this country ain't about to be destroyed, man.
And that part of the wickedness part where that goes to the Medes set the standard against Esau. So they drawing a line in the sand. So if Esau he done crossed that line, it's war on sight. Okay? Oh yeah, y'all got any more precepts before I read on? All right, this is Jeremiah 51 and 30. It says the mighty man of Babylon have forborne to fight. Okay, they talking about the armies of America against Babylon the Great is being weak. All right, and it said they have remained in their hold. They might have failed. They became as women. Okay, you got those women that basically breaking the standard down just so they can perform in the military. You go ahead. Okay, just like if there's videos where they talk about how the military has, you know, a military man is supposed to only do so many push-ups and pull-ups just so they can pass their physical exam. But a woman, they have to break it down half of that, and that basically further weakens the military, the army. All right. And it said, they became as women, they have burned her dwelling place, her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to sue the kings of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. And that the passes are the passes are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the man of war are affrighted. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like an extraction floor. It's like in the time of it is the time to stretch her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come.
Right. Brought out early. Time of harvest shall come, that wheat and tares.
I got one real quick. It's in Job chapter 20, verse 19 and 20. Say, because he has oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not build quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. And what was Esau desire to save? That his kingdom. You know what I mean?
His house. And I say it won't be quiet in his belly. That's us with the word of the Lord right there.
What that scripture say when he is about to fill his belly, then the Lord should rain down the wrath upon him while he's eating.
That's gonna be when he's trying to cap off the MOTV system. That's why we say you gotta keep the faith, because it ain't gonna last. It's not gonna work, man. You gotta hold on strong. See how people they don't know the ways in how Bashiach was shot. They don't know what's going on. So they think Babylon Great is the end all be all. So they're gonna do whatever they need to do to stay within this system, not knowing that we got a whole new system, a whole new kingdom coming next. I said 2/3 don't know we got next. You know, Esau about to be done with, man. The so-called white man's whole rulership is coming to an end, and Israel's coming next. And our people don't know that, so therefore they're gonna take whatever's given to them. Just you put in front of them the MOTV, like I said, he gonna be eating in his office. You know, look like, oh yeah, we about to get them all, and all of a sudden, hey, they gonna get that damn alarm, incoming missiles.
See, they desire to eat the crumbs from the rich man's table, man.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They want the crumbs. We want the whole thing. We want our whole meal.
The whole pot.
Yeah. You don't want your damn crumbs, your polluted food. Hey, we gonna come. We like y'all said. We gonna flip the table over. You know what I'm saying? Hey, strip his clothes off. Like, keep my goddamn crown.
Everything these devils got, you know what I mean? It's all, you know, by the way, you know, how much I give the power to the wicked, but you got to think, you know, these devils, you know, you get to eat them out devil with some money. These devils, they damn near buy happiness. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, he's so happy. Because that's all he's so care about is money. And like you probably said earlier, Esau didn't want to fill his belly. He's the carnal man, the flesh. Hey, just like that forefather Esau. He sold his birthright to do what? Fill his belly. Yeah. Sure, that's all they care about, man. They don't look at nothing spiritual. It's all about feeding their flesh. And so Jake, they're taking on their same nature. So I got a movie called Belly. Jake just want to feed his flesh, man. 2/3. Hopefully, we into spiritual things. We into a kingdom full of righteousness. You know? Hey, we fast. Sometimes we tell our belly no. You know, Jake don't know nothing about that. Fast, I'm like, what you mean, run real fast?
American people, once his families kick in, that's when a good portion of them just gonna die out because they ain't used to missing a meal.
God, he eat 8 times a day. Been back for the slaughter.
Man, remind me of that precept, man. When he that throw it to the spirit, shall of the spirit be life everlasting. He that throw it to flesh, shall of the flesh be corruption.
And Esau sold to the flesh because he's a slave to his belly. He's a slave to his flesh. We're a slave to the spirit.
Storing up spiritual treasures in heaven.
And only a remnant of us are like that. Like you said, that one Jake, all Jake want to do is feed his pockets, feed his belly, feed his flesh. You know, Jake doesn't seek anything spiritual that's carnal, man.
That's why I said Romans 8 verse 6. To be carnally minded is death, to be spiritually minded, life and peace.
Right.
And that's true. That's so true. Because the commandments, this book is spiritual. To get it, you gotta be spiritual. You know, you can't tell a 2/3 hungry nigga nothing. They let you talk about money. They let you, like they say all the time, hey, I ain't eat. He ain't feed me. You know, hey, dog, I'm hungry, dog. I gotta get it. You know, I'm a beast.
Hey, this old saying, this old man, I remember he was like 80-something-year-old, and this one like 14, he's talking about this little young chick my age and shit. He was like, I told her, if I ain't fucking you, I ain't feeding you. Hey, that's the same way Esau. You think about the mindset? Hey, if he ain't fucking you, he ain't feeding you. You know what I mean? So you look at,
that chip is a penetration, man.
You know,
God,
Eve,
you're right, it is.
and
He's
it's
gonna insert something.
everything, you know, like the food stamps, the housing, you know, all the government programs. Basically, you sign up for that shit, you get fucked by Esau. You know, you got kids, you want to get food stamps, well, then DHS can just show up at your fucking house. You know what I mean?
Have no man in there.
Yeah. You sure better have no Bible talking about righteousness. I like what you that was spot on. How you said, man. Hey, Esau looking to insert something in you. And basically getting fucked. And he gonna take it to a minute. We're gonna get to a level where if you don't take that, he ain't gonna feed you. Like I said, he's not gonna feed you. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your scan. You ain't got. Well,
You ain't let me eat you. I ain't giving you that.
Yeah, I gotta poke you. Let me poke you. Look. You go on your hand or your head. He gonna say, give me some head or give me your hand. Give me a reach around or give me some head.
Remember that while back when we were talking about that other company that surpassed Elon Musk, they called Bitcoin?
Yeah, as I said, they go on your head. They said, Esau talking about either you gonna give me some head or you gonna give me a reach around.
I don't shit, yeah, that shit out of line, man.
He want the head. You know? You get a head, he really got, you probably get more food.
This is how I know we in the spirit right here too, because the very next verse that I was getting ready to read, this is Jeremiah 51:34. And it said, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had devoured me, he had crushed me, he had made me an empty vessel. And go to Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones, right? He made me an empty vessel. And he said, and he had swallowed me up like a dragon, he had filled his belly with his delicacy, he had cast me out. In verse 35, the body done to me, to my flesh, be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitants of Zion say, in my blood, upon the inhabitants of the Chaldeans, shall Jerusalem say. Right? And it says, therefore thus says the Lord, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her spring dry.
Ooh, I got a precept go right with that too.
You said make her spring dry. It also goes into the we getting ready. I think Dabu should get a lesson when he's talking about there's gonna be water shortage. Okay, y'all spring right there, and they creating the technology just to hold up just to stop the river from flowing. You know that's what he's going into.
Yeah, but we're really going into like they power. They influence been dry. Wine gonna dry up.
They knowledge and influence. That's why they like a child right now. That's why the Lord say took the wisdom out of the team.
It's drawn up, man. They like you said earlier, they deceit. They finesse game is gone. So it's gonna come to the point they ain't gonna have nothing but the sword left. And they gonna use that sword, and like I said earlier, if I can't poke you, I ain't gonna feed you. And if you ain't gonna let me poke you, he gonna say, hey, take him to the firing squad. He no good. You know, he won't let me get it.
Get him to the firing squad. Take that nigga to the guillotine, man. And, We're gonna try to starve him out. We're gonna give him the hard way.
Esau sick, man. You see all this digital, this, that, everything's animated.
What we say? We're not worship the beast. Shall be, killed with the sword. And
God, I'm about to go down. I'm gonna bring a preset that go with what you brought out early. With the water being dried up. This is started Job chapter 18 and 15. It shall dwell in his tabernacle because it's none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street.
That goes into Obadiah 1 and 18. He said it's gonna be cut off, man. It should be have no more name.
Yeah.
That the house of Israel shall be for fire. And
Esau stuff.
Man, and like I said, the roots should be dried up beneath, man. That shows all his influence, the wine, the influence he had going out, all that's drying up. The heathens are like, man, we ain't dealing with Babylon no more. They cutting Babylon off, getting they missiles ready. We over here, we in Babylon said we cutting Babylon off. We over here getting right through the power of Yahweh Shah. We walking the commandments to the best of our abilities. So he's been dried up, like his influence is dried up. That's why they got to do like Vocab Malone, still trying to spread out that old wine. Trying to push out that same old wine. They've been pushing on Jake 1,000 years, and now Jake ain't slapping that cup over. Jake don't want that no more, man. It tastes bitter, man. We want that good, sweet tasting water of Yahweh Shah, that living waters, man. We like, man, we don't want that damn wine so I can be drunk. Hey, we sobered up. Remember what the scripture said, be sober, be militant? Hey, we drunk that living waters. Hey, that's like that alkaline water. We getting all good.
We want that new wine when Yahweh Shah come back, because even Yahweh Shah casted off the wine. He's like, I ain't gonna drink it till he gather my people up. So just imagine the wine that he got. It's been sitting up there for 1,000 years, man. That aged wine.
Yeah, that's the best wine. That's the good wine right there. So hey, Esau, his wine is done. His old school tactics are done. All he got left is the sword and his destruction. That's what's drawing now right now.
I got preset 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. These saints should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
No, we ain't ignorant of his devices. And we just talked about it. What's one of his devices? That strong wine to get you drunk. Hey, just like a dude that want to get a chick and he know he can't get her, you take her to the bar, what do you do? Hey, get her another round. Now you need another round. Now you need another round. Hey, she done took about 8 rounds. She all gone. Hey, she don't even know where she at. Dude done took her home, took advantage. Hey, left the rubber next to the bed.
Her drink as well too.
God, hey, that shit, it really ain't working like that. She ain't drunk enough, man. Put a Mickey in that sucker,
Matter of fact, that's how you know they released a wicked song with
that's that voice.
Rick Walk, where he said, "I put Molly in her champagne,"
and I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
and she ain't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Esau style,
right.
Man.
Yeah.
That's where he got that from. He started right after Esau, man. That's how Esau get down. Esau wants you drunk. Esau wants you on drugs. He don't want you sober. He don't want you in your right mind. Then we spit his lie out, if you ain't drunk, you might be like, hold up, man, that don't sound right. When you drunk, they say you drunk, everybody think they can dance good, everything sound good. You out there just drunk, not knowing, hey, dude, get ready to shoot the club up. He about to rain bullets out. And these bullets about to be thermonuclear missiles, man. Your house shot about to make it rain. He about to make it rain with thermonuclear missiles. Instead of the club, he gonna shoot the world up. He gonna shoot the country up. And Jake over here danced, don't even know it. Esau over here, Yahushua over here mad. Esau done stepped in Yahushua's shoes in the club. He took Yahushua's woman. Yeah, Esau done snatched Yahushua's woman, man. Yahushua done went and popped trunk. He about to come back in the club. He about to light it up. Which America's about to be like that hood club getting shot up, man. Toe up. And it's gonna be like you said, you probably had scripture earlier, it's gonna be panic. You're gonna be slumped over. Yeah.
Jeremiah 51 and 37. And it says, "And Babylon shall become heat, a dwelling place for a dragon, and an astonishment, and a hissing without inhabitants. They shall roar together like lions, they shall yell as lions wept. And in their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep, a perpetual sleep, and not wake, says the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams to his goat. And he said, and how and how Shishak taken, and how of the praise of the whole earth surprised. How would Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea is come up upon Babylon, she is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are desolation, a dry land, a wilderness, a land where no man dwelleth, neither do any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Baal of Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him.
Ooh, I guess I'll go right with that. The Psalms 46 and 6. The heathen raged, the kings were moved, he uttered his voice, the earth melted. Man, so hey, the kings were moved. You just about to preach it. The heathen, they moving on them. The sea is going against Babylon the Great right now. And the heathen rage. Why they rage? Because they got drunk off their juice. They done got, took advantage of, basically ravished, and they done woke up, they stomach hurt, and they pointing their finger at Esau, man, Babylon the Great, man. You left evidence behind, you left that rubber on the bed.
I was with you last night. My stuff hurt this morning.
These are trying to plead innocence. I didn't do nothing.
Right.
Hey, he done went got DNA. You know what I'm saying?
And he said, and then Penny Green,
hey, you touched me.
And he said, yeah, the walls of Babylon shall fall.
Woo.
All right, in verse 45, and it said, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. And lest your heart faint, and ye fear the rumors that shall be heard in the land, what that rumors of wars, and so on and so forth, right? A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven image of Babylon. In her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, says the Lord. As Babylon has caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall the fall of the slain of all the earth. Yet ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still, remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. Okay? There goes back to that precept of be not conformed to this world, but we get transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right?
Those who escape the sword is going to be the elect.
Yep. And he said, and we are confounded because we have heard reproach, shame hath covered our faces, for strangers have come into the sanctuary of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven image, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, though she should fortify the heights of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, said the Lord.
Ooh, them spoilers, they going to the missiles, man.
And it said a sound of a cry coming from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Lord hath spoiled Babylon and destroyed out of her the great voice, when her waves do roar like great water, and noise of their voice is uttered. Because the spoilers is come upon her, even upon Babylon, her mighty men are taken, every one of their bows is broken, for the Lord's power of recompense shall surely requite. And I will make drunk her princes, and her wise men, her captains, and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, said the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. Who is the King? Yahweh Shah, the King of kings, the Lord of lords.
See, the Lord said he was going to spoil them, and they was going to make them yell and cry. See, because Esau Edom is the hammer of the earth, man. He's used to hammering things. And now that he's getting hammered and getting broken into pieces, hey, he's gonna be crying like a little bitch. Like excuse my French, like travailing like a woman in travail.
Yeah. But they not used to that bird. They used to win it. They ain't used to taking L's and losing, man. The spoilers, they also go into these other nations when they come in. Russia, China, you know, they come in and start because like you said earlier, said they bow is broken. Esau really is, his sword really is already broken, man. Their military is weak. Other countries got better missiles, you know, better defense systems.
His dollar's about to collapse. He can't persuade people with
Yup.
money no more.
He in strikes right now.
Yeah, he is.
The Lord is spoiling him right as we speak.
Yep, he in straight straits, man. You can see that hell is coming. They can see it coming.
Just real quick, Hebrews 10:31, and fearful things fall in the hands of little power. And you see it on these people, the total, complete, and utter blindness. You know, they have no earthly idea of what it is to come. You know, that's what makes it so much beautiful and so much better. It's like the White House started giving us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But not just that, but even these people who look down upon us, found it, and whatever, you know, haters, you know, totally in the dark because like we see it coming.
And really, what I want to say on that, expand on what you're saying, people that's really in the dark are the two-thirds, Yasharala. When I look at Esau know it's coming. That's why Esau's scared right now. Esau know their country is done. That's why Esau's scrambling and he's coming down with great wrath, even though he has a short time. Esau know what time it is. Esau on the clock. It's so bad, Edomites on my job come to me like, what we gonna do? Esau know his kingdom is falling. Who's blind is Jacob. That's the blind right there. They still partying. They still twerking. Esau trying to gather militia groups. Esau wetting the sword. Esau prepping. Edomites know what's coming. They can feel it in their bones. They know what they done did, and they know they got judgment coming.
And everybody that's still in the dark, they don't recognize that we're about to deal with food shortage. Okay, they don't recognize that, you know, that like you said, they're not gonna be able to hear the word of the Lord no more.
Esau know. Esau prepping. Esau storing food up. Esau know it's getting bad. The people that I see that's in this drunk spirit of murder is Jake, man. 2/3 Yasharala. They act like ain't nothing happening.
You see how many Jakes that walk by here? They looking at us crazy.
That's why the Lord said it's going to be a Jacob's trouble. These guys don't know nothing. Right. And if you don't have no inkling of what's going on, when it hits you, hey, you're going to be in panic mode, man. You're going to be, hey, in worst case, because like you don't even have no idea to expect. Like if you knew something was coming, you would have an idea to brace and protect yourself from it for a little bit. 2/3 of Esau, 2/3 of Jacob don't know that, man.
They don't run the Esau house.
It's like they say, Isaiah 33:6, you know, it's nice, time. But, you know, brothers, you know, highways and byways, prophesying, you know, bringing out these prophecies, talking about the families and everything. And, you know, hey, we're just now, you know, just now starting to see the prophecies come to life, be brought to life through the media and shit, you know, just like on RT News right here say the world risks worst famine since World War II German ministry. You know what I mean? So, you know, RT News already talking about the worst famine since World War II. All right? And again, you know, brothers on Highways and Byways, if we can bring this out, you know, to the spirit of trying to help us in our time. You know, but hey,
Y'all good.
everybody, they ain't gonna see it. You know, until they don't have no food, until they breathe a complete shutdown. You know, then they gonna know. You know,
Man, hey, I'm gonna jump off here.
Devil, you know, that the Bible speaks of, that's who's in power on this earth right now. You know?
He know what time it is. Why he gonna come down with great wrath? Who's gonna attack first? He gonna attack Yasharala Jake, man. And Jake's so dumb. Jake don't even see the sword getting sharp. Jake has no idea. Jake don't even know who he is. Jake think he black, African American, Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican. Jake doesn't know his nationality because this man has took his heritage from him. You know. Now we're coming back into it.
Back up even further, but they don't even recognize that black-white is a social construct that they put on it. They put it to keep them in the dark.
They don't know who Esau Edom is. Right. You know. Therefore, they don't know who their enemy is. They don't know Babylon the Great. This place that we standing right now about to be destroyed. World War III. Thermonuclear missile. It's about to go. You know?
I got one, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore founded going into Great Britain, because America come from, that come from sprung out of Britain. They say, she that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. All right, that's talking about America. It said, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
The Lord said He was going to his business.
How you feel about America? Like snapping out pictures, what you think is gonna happen?
I think some of it is knocked off. That's all right.
Yeah, but see, the Bible says otherwise. Yeah, see, Esau, that's just what we say. Esau wants his house to continue. Esau don't want Babylon the Great to be destroyed.
Pride is not hard. Pride is not hard to see.
I know. That's why I sit there asking the question. I'm peeking them right there. But we about to wrap up anyway. Too late. The devil too late. He got a day late and $1 short.
He got a little hot or something.
I already knew. I seen it when he stopped. That's why I sitting there watching. That's why I asked him a question. What you think? Who's gonna knock him off? If I don't, you ain't about to knock off nothing.
Yeah, you on the bicycle.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get close to him, man. Yeah, he already taking pictures. He about to tell it. I seen that devil, man.
I'll finish this off. Verse 14, Jeremiah 50:14. Put yourselves to the array against Babylon round about. All ye have been to bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. All right, so he left a little too early. If I just put
the wicked flee with no man pursuing.
He got out. That's why I knew he was gonna do something like this. That's why I had to stop and say something.
Don't take our picture.
He already had snapped it, though. I already know he about to go tell it. That's all he about to go do.
Weirdo.
I'm going to go ahead and continue. It's back to like 7 scriptures left. This is Jeremiah 51 and 58. It said, thus says the Lord of hosts, the wide walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gate shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. The word which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Sariah, the son of Neriah, and the son of Messiah, when he went into Zedekiah, the king of Judah, into Babylon in the 4th year of his reign, and the Sariah was a quiet prince. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou comest to Babylon and shalt see and shalt read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. And it shall be when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it and cast it into the midst of Euphrates, and thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall what did it say? And it said, right here it said, thus shall Babylon sink and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her, and they shall say, be weary, but thus far are the words of Jeremiah.
Babylon is going to sink, man, and not rise. So the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah, man, has put a complete end to this place, man. He's going to cut off seed from Esau, Edom. What it says, father, son, and nephew. And he's going to destroy the whole nation of Esau, Edom, man. As it's written in Obadiah 1 and 18 again.
That made me think of another preacher with that prepare slaughter for the iniquities of their fathers.
14:21. Isaiah 14:21.
I got one. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest to the Most high, and our trust also are made manifest in your conscience. You know, and that's what it is. You know, hey, we ain't talking on that Jesus God love everybody, yada yada shit. We're bringing out the terror of the Lord. All right, this what thus said Yahweh Shemina Shai. All right, as I say, it was Ezekiel chapter 7. The end is come, the end is come. Behold, and watching for thee. It is come. All right, we are knocking on the door of Armageddon. All right, and everybody just want to be in a little spirit of mirth. Well, you're gonna be destroying that spirit. All right, it's simple.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Exactly the beginning. See, Esau know that. Esau stopped right there, and when he showed some pride. He was like, somebody gonna knock Putin off if I don't knock Putin off. See, that's Esau's solution to everything. Kill.
Hey, dude's on bicycle in America talking about knocking off the president, running. What the fuck you mean?
That's pride.
That's retardation.
You don't get no pride for it. As I said, that devil is prideful, man.
The thing is, it's all prophetic, man. So if anybody did knock out Putin, the Lord gonna raise up
somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna come right next day. They general, somebody gonna come right in it. The medes is gonna pop up and do what they need to do.
Oh, the pride of their heart deceives thee.
Dude, that is straight up American pride for you right there. You know what I mean?
Hey, that guy right there is the missile fool for sure, man. The famine will knock him off real quick. I think the Lord got something special for him.
Yeah, I knew it. As soon as he stopped, man, I was waiting for him to come with it. But I see him on the spotlight. He calling the police. Okay. He up there snapping pictures and stuff.
Shalom, Barakathon, man. GTA Baba Ball. Laptop went dead on me.